I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, August the 6th, brought to you in part by the Kansas Regenerative Medical Center. These guys are pioneers in the regenerative medical field. They've been treating patients for over 10 years. They know which patients they can help. Give them a call there or check them out online at kansasrmc.com. Also, Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma. Two big sales this week, and of course your feeder sale, just like every other place, is not quite as big as it was going to be. I've had a few people decide to pull back, but still looking at over 1,800 here today on Tuesday for the feeder cattle auction. It's hot. They're going to start at 6 o'clock in the morning, but they got 800 or 900 yearlings there, be about 500 steers there, weighing mostly in the 8s and 9s. I have a few loads of those. There won't be as many straight loads as what they typically have, but they'll have another 300 and some yearling heifers there weighing in the 6s and 7s mostly, but 700 calves. Not very many of them will be weaned. They've got one long string of over 100 head. They got several strings from 30 to 80 head there, but be pretty nice kind there. But they are going to have 400 or 500 cows for the weigh-up sale on Tuesday here. But getting ready for the big special cow sale that's going to happen on Wednesday. In fact, I'm going to be traveling up there to Beaver, Oklahoma to help out with the auctioneering on Wednesday for the special cow sale. They're going to have over 1,000 head. Quality is going to be outstanding. They've got 200 bred heifers. They're going to come from 3 different deals, but they're all reputation type deals, and those heifers will have some size to them and be mostly all P2s and P3s. Really nice cattle. Have about 120 head of pairs there. They'll be young, good black pairs, 4 to 6 years old. The calves will mostly be smaller calves weighing from 120 to 200 pounds, but some of them will be a little bit bigger calves there, but really nice pairs there. Going to have about 800 bred cows, and they've got one big complete ranch dispersal. It's the Overton Ranch there. They're going to have a lot of really good, honest, working cows, be 4 to 6 years old. I think they said they are going to sell the short and solid mounts on Wednesday for that particular consignment because the cows are so good. Just good working cows from that area there. They're not too big, they're not too small. Just really nice, honest set of big dispersal there. The Griswolds from over at Stillwater, Oklahoma is bringing over 300 head, 4 to 6 year old commercial Angus. Now they've got the purebred deal, but they're bringing over 300 head of young commercial Angus cows. Quality outstanding on that deal. They've got 4 other pretty good sized deals, 300 to 400 cows involved in that, but there's going to be a lot of black. They do have a few black baldy bred heifers there on one deal, but most of the deal is going to be all black, mostly all young, really nice bred cows, and a lot of them are heavy bred guys. So if you're interested in something like that, who knows what the market's going to do. I wouldn't think it would affect that quite as much of a knee-jerk reaction as it has on the feeders, but we're going to have a big sale. It's going to be starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. I know that's early for a special cow sale, but it's supposed to be over 100 degrees in Beaver, Oklahoma on Wednesday. We're going to get started early, get them put through, get those cows comfortable, get them moved out to your place there. But starting at 6 o'clock here today on Tuesday and 8 o'clock on Wednesday for the special cow sale. I know some of their advertisements did say 11 o'clock on Wednesday, but they have moved it up to 8 o'clock. Get on DVAuction.com. If you're interested in bidding, call them early, get approved, where you can get in on some of those really nice replacement stock there. Kamala fears, and you Democrats, just hear me out. Don't get too nervous there. But the Kamala fears are what's shaking this market up as much as anything. And for the most part, it's what's shaking up your stock market. The stock market lost 1,000 points, over 1,000 points on Monday there, and you just don't see that. It's never happened before. Everybody's 401ks have taken a hit. I mean, people are down in the dumps. But the deal of it is it's gotten to the point where, you know, it hasn't even been 2 weeks yet, I think, since Kamala was basically just handed the nomination, Democratic nomination for president, without even going through any of the primaries or anything. Pretty nice deal for her. But somebody that has no clue about business, it's making business people extremely nervous. Now, you know, you think, well, you know, she might be a little bit leftist, but, you know, she knows her stuff. She don't know her stuff. She slept her way to the top in California, got notoriety there, like to never passed her bar exam, got that. She was a lawyer, and then just started working deals to get moved up and up into the political world, and she's gone way past her potential already, and people know it, and they're seeing that. But you've got a lot of normal people out there that aren't big in business that you know, they're just voting her for because she's a woman and she's not white, and so it's worrisome. And you think, well, how did she get into such a position? You remember when Biden decided to run for president, and he was out in front of everybody else running for president back in 2020. All he said was he was going to pick a vice president that was female and of color. And that's what happens when you do that kind of stuff. You do that DEI, which stands for didn't earn it, and then you get somebody like that, and it is more racist than the most racist story that you've ever heard, when they put people in places that don't deserve them. Not that there wasn't somebody of color or a woman that didn't deserve it, but this one did not. And I think if we move her any farther up, it may be another 100 years before we put another woman in there. She will set things back that far. But you know, you just look at her views and stances. Of course, she flip-flops on them every other day, but you know, she wants to redistribute the wealth, which that's socialism. She wants to defund the police. She wants to abolish the ICE agents. She wants to open up the border, let all the illegals come in, and give them free everything. That she wants to destroy our energy. No more fracking or anything like that. Wants to outlaw the internal combustion engine. She wants total government health care with no private insurance there. So I guess we'll just have to stand in line no matter what if you get to that. There's multiple wars going on, and they are threatening to get much worse. She has no idea how to handle those. You listen to her talk about the difference between equality and equity, and it scares you to death. She says, well, everybody knows what equality is when you're equal, but she says equity, we want everybody to end up the same, but some people didn't start out the same, so we have to give them more to get the same. No, in this country you have to work to earn things, and then you have to take some risks along the way, and if those turn out, you may boost yourself up even higher, or you may have to go back and start over again. That's the way it is in a free country like this, in a free enterprise type of a system. But she wants to tax unrealized capital gains. That's the thing that's scaring the stock market. You know, just because your stocks are worth more right now than when you bought them, but if you haven't realized them yet, you can't tax that. But that's one thing that she's pushing. She wants, but the big thing is, as far as what we're talking about with the cattle market, she wants to place restrictions on red meat. Now, isn't that a fine how do you do? I tell you what, it's not good. And the fears of Kamala, she's getting pretty good marks coming back in. from all these tests that they've been running out there, these polls that they've been running. You know, I don't know if you can believe any of that stuff, but I think we all know that if Trump was to win presidency back, he's got to win in a landslide. And now we've got her close enough to where it's going to make it really hard for him. But these Kamala fears, I assume, will continue to grow if she ever has to answer a question, or if she ever has a debate, or if she ever gets off the teleprompter, because she cannot talk and she doesn't understand any of these issues that we've been talking about here. But, you know, we've been feeling sorry for the Packers because these record high prices. And then I saw a report come out on Monday that talked about Tyson Fresh Meats, their third quarter earnings, $13.3 billion, credited mostly to beef. And all of our cattle analysts worried to death that you know, they're losing money. Don't worry about them. I've told you like that. You don't have to worry about the Packers. It's like going to a used car dealer and buying a pickup off of them and thinking that you really got the best of them. Don't worry about them. They'll take care of themselves, people. Let's talk about your board, and we just don't see down days like this on your board. But August live cattle down 255 at 181.55. Your 5 area weighted average just this past week was 194.45, and your August live cattle this August right now is sitting at 181.55. What the hell does that contract have to do with what cash fats are worth? Nothing. October live cattle down 307 at 179 smooth. You didn't think that that fats were going to get back in the 170s. Well, we're seeing it for middle of fall there, already at 179. Your back months were all down hard from 265 lower to 427 lower. August feeder cattle down 565. You didn't think they could do that. They've got these limits now. They're so big, they can take the whole ranch in one day, guys. Down 565 at 244. Your latest CME cash feeder cattle index is 256.55. So over $12.50 lower than that. And I told you on our last visit, and I'll tell you again, I promise you, on August the 30th, your CME cash feeder cattle index and your August feeder cattle contract will be the same. Exactly the same. September down 690. Yes, it can go down that much. September contract 241.25. Your back months were down even more than that, from 665 lower to $7.72 lower. I mean, how do you like that? And if you haven't you know, gotten a disgust or a hate for that cattle futures on the CME, you're in the minority, guys, because nobody likes it except for those traders. And the traders were just getting tired of the narrow ranges, and they weren't making any money if the thing's not volatile. So it was time to take it down. And your cattle a lot of times do follow your stock market. And I don't know who's been running the show as far as the markets there, but I've been telling you guys you needed to dally up to an LRP that you liked or you could get along with. And somewhere in that it got lost, and somebody done roped the stock market and was tied on, and we're going down with it, because it is it's just unbelievable how this thing has fallen out of bed all of a sudden. But December corn's all right, up 3 3/4 cents at 407. November beans doing okay, up 13.5 cents a bushel at 10.40 3/4. Kansas City hard red winter wheat for September up 1/2 cent a bushel at 5.60 1/4. Your weighted average on last week's negotiated fed cattle trade out of your 5 area feeding region had a total head of 55,900 head, less than the previous week of 61,100 and less than the same week a year ago of 68,600. Your live prices on fat steers and heifers last week in your 5 area ranged from 185 to 198.50. That was steady to $2 lower. Not bad. Your weighted average last week on live steers, 194.45, down 76 cents. And you think, how did it stay up that good? Southern Plains didn't sell very many. So the Northern Plains running at a $10 premium, it's going to sound a lot better. Your dressed prices there last week, 306 to 311, very uneven, but your weighted average on dressed steers was 174 lower at 309.60. As a whole, the Southern Plains traded mostly $2 lower at 188. Northern Plains traded mostly $2 lower at 196 and 310 dressed. Nationwide, we sold 69,600 head negotiated compared to 73,200 the previous week and 82,800 the same week a year ago. Of the 69,600 negotiated sales last week nationwide, about 32% of those are for the 2 to 4 week delivery. Negotiated grid sales totaled 43,400 head last week. Forward contract sales 16,900, and formula sales, which is what all your corporate feedlots do, 271,400. Of the 4 out of 5 feeding areas that we get information from on negotiated, Iowa sold 28,800, pretty close to normal for them. Nebraska sold 18,100, that's about 10,000 off for them. Kansas only 5,300, Texas only 3,700. It's going to get really tight. You know, if the negotiated sellers decide to just lock the gates and not sell any cattle, because you know packers are going to want to buy them a foot lower, they don't have to sell them. Those packers will still take them later, weighing 18 something if we get them there. So don't worry about that. I would encourage the negotiated sellers to lock the gates until they come to you with something that's reasonable, because they are going to kind of cut your throat and shoot your feet off this week whenever we do start to see some negotiating going on. Box beef cutout values were a bunch higher. We've been worried about our box beef cutout values. You think the packers don't control this? They've been trying to break the market by reporting these dismal box beef cutout values here all summer long. Okay, the market finally breaks. Presto. Spot market box beef sales are doing pretty good. Choice was up $4.17 on Monday at $317.94. Select's up $2.89 at $300.06. Slaughter, 119,000 estimated for Monday. That's 4,000 more than last week, 4,000 less than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Elite livestock sales. My friends from down there that used to be in the Montgomery stockyards in Montgomery, Alabama, their elite livestock sales, a video auction they do with help from DVAuction, and they are getting along really well, and it's mostly because of their excellent reputation and the way they treat their customers, and the deliveries go well and everything's just like it's supposed to be. They are having the 44th annual Producers Feeder Calf Sale here tomorrow on Wednesday, August the 7th. And it's all tied in with the Alabama Beef Quality Assurance Program there. All of these calves are long time weaned. They've all been vaccinated. They've all got the same program, at least, or the minimum on that. The sale is going to be held in Otaugaville, Alabama, but it's going to be on DVAuction.com. It's going to be 6 o'clock in the evening Central Time. 6 o'clock in the evening Central Time this Wednesday, August the 7th. They've got 63 loads of home-raised, weaned and vaccinated calves, and some of them be sure enough feeders. But really, really top quality cattle, all home-raised. They've been having this Producers Feeder Calf Sale for 44 years. Everything's right, guys. The deliveries will be August and September deliveries. Get on to Elite Livestock Sales. Get a hold of Daryl Stokes. Tell him you want to be approved. He'll be the one taking the bids online there and help them out, guys. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DV Auction. Late in the day on Monday, based on an 800-pound cash auction steer up through your middle 12 states. This is after Monday's sales. It was $254.97, down 2 1/4. So, you know, of course your cash sales were lighter where they had any cattle, but your latest CME cash feeder cattle index 256.55. Talk about your sales on Monday. Even our high volume sales didn't have very big runs, because who wants to bring them in when you know the market's going to be a foot lower? Oklahoma City, Oklahoma National Stockyards had 3,800 head. Steers and heifers were $5 to $10 lower, with instances as much as $15 lower. National Livestock Commission sold 59 steers, weighed 902, bring 230.50 there through the ring at the old stockyards in the city there, guys. Joplin Regional Stockyard sells 2,100. Can't remember the last time they had a run that light, unless it was a winter storm or something, but only 2,100 because people knew how much it was going to be. The market reporter there with Missouri Department of Agriculture called the steer calves 15 to 20 lower, feeder steers $4 to $7 lower, all weights of heifers $8 to $12 lower. I did watch Jackie Moore's YouTube video after he gets done with the sale. He straight up called the cash feeders in there 10 to 20 lower, and like the rest of us, he doesn't know why, because the fundamentals are so strong. But sold some commodity steers, some heavy commodity steers, 60 head of them, weighed 885 and bring 239 1/4 at Joplin, so there wasn't any blood coming out of the ring on that. Some individual quotes. How about Russell Livestock Market in Russell, Iowa? They sell 60 steers, weighed 931 at 243.85. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Monday, your Macrocin, no BS. Top quote for the day come out of Elgin Livestock Sales in Elgin, Nebraska. They sold 60 steers, weighed 986 at 254. And that's your feeder flash for Tuesday.